What's up, y'all? It's Drake's Takes. We're back, alive and well. An amazing sports weekend we had this weekend. We had UFC 327. We had a ton of baseball. We had the Masters. We had it all, and we're going to get into all of it. We're going to talk NBA playoffs. We're going to talk the baseball. And we're going to talk all about UFC 327 and amazing nights of fights. Let's get right into one thing that we forgot about last week because I moved the show from Tuesdays to Sundays. Because why would I not record on a weekend? I'm dumb. I'm trying to record on Tuesday. I have work. I'm trying to go do comedy. It makes no sense. Now it makes sense. We're feeling good. We're feeling great. Um, and here's what we have. We had Michigan winning the national championship. They beat UConn 69-63. It was incredible. It was a great game. It was fun to watch. Terrace Reed is my favorite basketball player of college this year. I hope he goes to the Cavs. That'd be incredible. He's awesome. Michigan's just a tank, man. Ellie Godot had 19. Axel Lindenberg was hurt and he still scored 13. He's awesome. That was an incredible game. Michigan played Arizona earlier in the Final Four. They dragged their ass. It was terrible. Wasn't even close. UConn put a beating on Illinois as well. Great seasons by both of them, but just couldn't get it done. Michigan's a tank. They take it. Dusty May, very, very, very good coach. Underrated, if anything. He's awesome. Great win for Michigan. And UConn just hanging around, man. That's what they do. Dan Hurley, he's going to lose Alex Caravan next year. That's tough. But yeah, that's tough. So we'll see about that. The main things I want to talk about, my favorite thing to talk about every week, UFC 327. But before we get into it, we're going to talk a smidgen of boxing because Tyson Fury fought on Netflix and Conor Benn fought on Netflix. Conor Benn fought Regis Prograis. I don't know how to pronounce his name. Regis is kind of older, but he put up a good fight against Conor Benn. Conor Benn got 15 million from the UFC for this fight. Zuffa Boxing paid him 15 million for this fight, and he kind of underwhelmed me. I thought he was going to come in and stomp the dude, and he just didn't do it. Pretty simple. But Fury came in his fight, fighting some big Russian dude. They called him the Lion. He was more like the Lioness. That was bad. Tyson Fury dominated him. Anthony Joshua sitting right in the front row was incredible. So we're finally getting the dream fight of Tyson Fury versus Anthony Joshua. And after all Anthony Joshua's been through, losing a couple of his buddies in a car crash, I'm kind of rooting for Anthony Joshua. I'm not gonna lie, Tyson Fury, you're an old man. Let's let somebody else take the reins of that division. Okay, we're gonna get into the UFC 327. This was a great all-around card. I sat my happy ass down and I watched every single fight, and it was incredible. We started off with Charles Radke saying the F slur on Paramount Plus. He beat Francisco Prado by unanimous decision. It was an okay fight. Radke's just a tough dude. Prado looked tough at the start, the first round. He was hitting Radke a little bit. It was an interesting fight, but Radke just found a way, man. It was pretty awesome. And then we got Vicente Luque, a great win, moving up a weight class to choke out Kelvin Gastelum. Kelvin Gastelum's just a fat ass now. He's fried. His shit's over. I don't want to hear about him again. Um, just hang him up, Kelvin. It's been real, man. It's been real. Uh, but great win for Vicente Luque moving up a weight class. The thing about this fight card is a bunch of guys moved up on this card in weight, and I think it's going to help them a lot. Vicente Luque has been fighting down. I think the weight cut might have been messing him up to a certain extent, but he's not the biggest, man. Because in this division, you have RoboCop, who is actually training with Vicente, and he looked so much bigger than Vicente. It was crazy. But great performance by Vicente. Kelvin Gastelum, it's over, man. Let's finish it. Tatiana Suarez choking out Lupi Godinez. This was a solid fight. Lupi was actually getting the best of her, and then Tatiana took her down and choked her out. Simple as that. It was a fun fight, though. I like both these women. Tatiana Suarez, let's make another run at the title, man. I think you deserve it. Gamrot beat the bricks off Esteban Rivovic. I thought Esteban was going to come in as the young guy and kind of fire back on Gamrot, and Gamrot really showed that his veteran presence is there. And he came in, he really I think he triangled him, but he was dominating him on the feet, on the ground. It was pretty impressive by Gamrot. So he's just going to keep hanging around the top of the lightweight division. Good for him. I thought we were going to get a new I thought we were going to get a new contender there, but it didn't happen. So that's tough for him. We got Kevin Holland dominating Randy Brown. Kevin Holland came in with a game plan. That's all he needed to do. He kicked the legs off Randy Brown. He took him down a couple times. Randy Brown in the third round literally just tried to win a round. You didn't win the first two, dude. You're just gonna lose. He should have scrapped a little bit. It was pretty embarrassing. So Kevin Holland with another win. I think Kevin Holland might be the best unranked fighter in UFC history. Like if there was a championship for unranked fighters, I think Kevin Holland would win it because he's beaten everybody under the sun who's unranked. Once he starts getting up into that top 10, top 10, 15 range, he just self sabotages. He doesn't fight his fight. I know he's just there for the money, but that's just how he is. I like Kevin Holland a lot, but that is tough, man. Kevin Holland, let's try to make a real push. This is the perfect weight class for you. You looked great in this fight. Let's get you a ranked opponent on the bottom level of the division. Let's get it popping. We got Aaron Pico. I think he dominated Pitbull. Pitbull looked solid in the first round, but Pico's speed really showed in this fight. This is a fight of two like champions of not the UFC. I think Pico was PFL and I know Pitbull was Bellator. Both these guys are solid. But Pico came out on top. I really like Pico. I think his loss against Lerone Murphy, he was looking really solid and then he got clocked. So overall, I'm a big Aaron Pico fan. I think he keep pushing. I think he's a real top 10, top 15 guy in this division. Good for him. And then we went to the main card. My dog, Nate Landwehr. I'm sorry, man. I think it's over. You got starched by Cub Swanson. Cub Swanson, 42. Kids sitting in the front row, opening the main card. Cub Swanson KOs Nate Landwehr, sends him away. That was a tough loss, but Cub Swanson doesn't go out on his shield. He goes out on top. It was incredible. They had a whole video thing for him. Cub Swanson, one of the legends. He fought in WBC, which is like it was the little weight classes before they were in the UFC. He had an awesome performance. It was incredible to start. And then we got Dom Reyes and Johnny Walker. This fight was kind of a snoozer, honestly. Uh, I'm not the biggest fan of how this fight went. I think Dom Reyes probably won, but I wouldn't have been surprised if Johnny Walker did. There was very, very little done. Johnny Walker was throwing great leg kicks, but he couldn't really do nothing outside of that. So this was kind of like, and with what happened in the main event, this is kind of a depressing thing to see because we'll talk about the main event later, what happened in it. The light heavyweight division is very wide open now for that. So one of these guys winning, if they made a big statement, they could have had a shot at the title. They just didn't do it. And then we got Josh Hokett. This dude's been talking shit all week. He's a huge dickhead. He's been doing Hulk Hogan promos all week. He gets in a scrap with Curtis Blades, one of the best heavyweight fights I've ever seen. This fight was incredible. Hokett looked gassed at times, but he was beating on Blades bad. Blades is one of the tougher dudes in the division. He's only lost against top guys, so this is a big step up for Hokett. Um, Great win for him, and with this win, Trump was sitting in the front. He got a fight against Derek Lewis at the White House. That's incredible. I'm excited about that. That's gonna be sick. If you have Paramount, please go watch this fight. This fight was incredible. I loved every second of it. I'll probably go watch it again. Just two dudes. There was really no lull. These dudes literally fought for 15 minutes. No like 10, no like 2 minutes where they're just chilling. They were going at it. Hoka was spamming middle fingers. I don't know why he was doing that, but it was funny. This fight was incredible, and the fights right after this were incredible as well. We get right into Azamat Murzakanov versus Paulo Costa. I'm big on Paulo Costa moving up. He still looked huge. He still looked huge at 205. He's been wrestling at 185 for years now. And he comes in at 205, and he looks really sharp. He's throwing great body kicks, great leg kicks against Mirzakhanov. Um, so an overall great fight for Costa. He ends up finishing in Mirzakhanov in the third. Just a great all-around performance. And like I said, the light heavyweight division is open now because in the main event we had Yuri and we had Olberg. And within the first minute, Olberg tears his ACL. It's confirmed now. He's tore his ACL. And Yuri kind of backs off. He gives him some space. He lets him breathe. I think he wanted him to give him like a samurai's death or something like that. He wanted to be gentle with him. I don't know, but he got too cute with it. And Olberg came in and clocked his shit and knocked him out cold. Carlos Olberg on a torn ACL is your new UFC light heavyweight champion. And these torn ACLs ain't no joke. The last time we saw one in the UFC, the champion was out at least a year. So if they plan on restarting the light heavyweight division, they're gonna have to restart it again. So that's tough. We'll see how that looks. Like I said, light heavyweight is kind of a wash now. I don't really know who fights for the chip, but this was a great card. This was a great card. The top three fights, Hokit and Blades, Mirzakhanov and Costa, and Yuri and Olberg are all worth watching if you have Paramount Plus. What other fights? Vicente Luque was awesome. Cub Swanson's Swan Song was amazing. I thought this was a great night of fights for a pay-per-view. We have a pay-per-view coming up in a few weeks, 328, Khamzat versus Strickland. That's going to bang. I'm excited about that. I think that's May 9th. But next week we have Gilbert Burns and Mike Malott. That's going to be incredible. Those two dudes are scrappers. This could be Gilbert Burns' final fight, so Gilbert Burns has put on so many good performances in the octagon. This could be his last. If you have a chance to watch it, I 100% think you should. We also get Charles Jourdain versus Kyler Phillips. That's a banger too. The UFC, somebody was asking me like why there's so many fight cards. It's kind of watered down now. It kind of is. There's so many guys. I think there's 600 total fighters. And so they pretty much have to have a fight card damn near every week to get all these dudes fighting in a certain rotation. So some of these fight nights aren't always the most stacked, but there's always like a gem here and there where it's a great fight and you watch and it's awesome. Um, so yeah, but this pay-per-view is awesome. We're gonna talk MLB because my Guardians are first in the AL Central. Give it up. Guardians, former Indians, they're first. They're doing great. The Tigs are bottom. They're 4-9, not looking too hot. Reds tied for first. They're 9-7. We're early in the season, but this season has been fun so far. The Guardians, like I said, they're kind of up and down. They're 9-7, but Chase DeLauder has been amazing. I think he's hitting 286. I think he's got 12 RBIs, 5 home runs. He's looking incredible so far. Parker Messick, he's 2-0, 16 Ks. I think his ERA is less than 1. He's awesome for us so far. And he's the fifth pitcher in the rotation. So that's amazing. And we also got Jose Ramirez, who homered last night. He's kind of picking it up a little bit. He got a hit tonight as well against the Braves. We were losing 3-0 last time I was checked. So that could be tough. But the Braves are tough. They're the top of their division as well. Like I said, the Tigers kind of started having a slow start. The bats aren't doing great. But one of the bats that is doing great is Kevin McGonigal. He's hitting 322, 8 RBIs. He had his first major league home run just yesterday. He's looking incredible for the Tigers so far. Skubal's 2-2. I think his ERA is like around 2. He's got 23 Ks. You have to if Skubal's on the mound, you have to give him run support. Skubal's one of the best pitchers in all of baseball. He may be the best, but him and Skeens are like 1A, 1B. You have to give him run support, and it's embarrassing if you don't. So if the bats aren't going for Detroit, that's a real problem because you have Framber Valdez, who hasn't looked great this year, but he'll figure it out. He always starts a little slow. And you have Skubal, who is literally one of the best pitchers we've ever seen. So figure it out, Tigers. You're messing up. We have the Reds as well. Like I said, they're 9-7. Sal Stewart starting off hot. I think he's hitting 310, 4 home runs, just mashing the baseball. He's been awesome. He won NL Player of the Week, I think last week. That was amazing. We got Ellie. I think he has 5 stolen bases. I think he has 5 home runs. That's awesome for him. The Reds are a hot team, man. They've got some young guys. Chase Burns looks good. He's throwing heat. Ladolo's still out. Get your ass back. You're on my fantasy team. Be healthy. What are we doing? Um, so yeah, man, this stuff's been fun. The Broncos just bought 40% of the Rockies. I don't know if that interests anybody, but that's interesting to me because the Broncos could actually turn around the Rockies franchise. Like I said, I talked about in the season preview, I think the Rockies have a couple young guys that are super interesting. I like Ezekiel Tovar. I like Hunter Goodman. I like Jordan Beck. I like Jake McCarthy. They have guys that are interesting. I would love if the Rockies could get a little bit of a renaissance, a Rocky renaissance. That would be amazing. Mason Miller hasn't allowed a run. I think it's in eight. He's been in the game 8 times. He hasn't allowed a single run. He struck out 19 people. He has 5 saves. He has 1 win. His batting average allowed is .43. Mason Miller. People are like, we should make him a starter. You should, but right now he's killing it in the bullpen, and that's incredible to watch. Maybe they move him to a different relief role, but right now you keep him in. He's killing it as a reliever, as a closer. So I love Mason Miller. He's incredible. Kind of wish I would have drafted him in fantasy. He was there. I should have. I messed up. Um, that's life though. But Mason Miller's incredible. It's been a fun season so far. It's really been fun. Um, I think that's all MLB for today. We're gonna get more into it next time. We're gonna talk Cavs. We're gonna talk NBA playoffs because NBA playoffs are literally this week. I think they start the 18th or something, and the NFL draft is the 23rd. So this next week is packed to the gills with sports. So we're gonna get into it. The Knicks play the Raptors. It's the 3-6. No, 4. The 3-6. Yeah, the Knicks are 3, Raptors are 6. That's an interesting matchup. I think the Knicks find a way. They've been looking pretty solid as of late. They're all pretty much healthy, and the Cavs are playing the Hawks. They just played. They just played each other. I think like 4 days ago. The Cavs took one, the Hawks took one. It was a solid series. I think the Cavs are really starting to feel good. James Harden is really coming into his own on this team. And the thing with James Harden is that's good is he doesn't have to be the number one option. He can be assisting James Harden. He doesn't have to be taking every shot James Harden. He can pass to Evan Mobley. He can pass to Jared Allen. Donovan Mitchell's the number one on that team. So I'm excited where the Cavs stand. It's going to be interesting against the Hawks. I think they beat them probably in 6 games, but we'll see. The Pistons and the Celtics are still number 1 and 2 in the East. The Pistons look really solid. Even without Cade Cunningham, they looked really solid. I thought they kind of fall off. They had enough guys around to weather the storm. Jalen Duran is probably, like I said, with UConn, he's like Harris Reed is like kind of like Jalen Duran. He looked really great in the NCAA championship. That was incredible. Uh, so yeah, it's exciting for them. And then in the West, we get the Nugs versus the T-Wolves. That's a great game. I really don't know who's going to win. The Nugs have been really dominant. I think they've won 11 in a row. The T-Wolves, if they can stay healthy, that's the biggest thing. They've dealt with injuries all year long. Uh, Lakers playing the Rockets. That's a great series. Lakers are kind of hurt as well. The Rockets have Kate, but I'm just excited. We get to see LeBron versus KD like one last time. That's also that series is going to be great strictly for that. I want to see LeBron and KD scrap against each other. That's going to be incredible. And then the 1 and 2 seed in the East or in the West is the Thunder and the Spurs. The Spurs have been on a crazy hot streak, and the Thunder are going to thunder, man. That's just what they do. The Thunder are awesome. Uh, and yeah, I'm excited. It's going to be a great playoffs. I'll probably talk more next Sunday, go like a deeper preview. I kind of just wanted to get off my chest what we're feeling. So yeah, I'm excited. NBA playoffs are popping off. Let's freaking go. This is kind of a shorter episode, like I said. I don't even know if I did say that, but we're going to get onto the 5-on-5 and we're going to get the heck out of here. I had a solid week so far, so I'm feeling good. I'm feeling great. Let's do the 5-on-5. We got the clock. There we go. Okay, Survivor 50. This is every week now. We're updating Survivor 50. A great free. This was probably the best episode of Survivor 50 all season. I think it was episode 7. Coming off of the Blood Moon, we lost 3 people. This episode was incredible. I watched this with went to my mom's house and watched this. No, I watched the Blood Moon with her. Never mind. This was an incredible episode. This was an incredible episode. It was very cut and bones. There was no freaking ads. There was no Zach Brown. There was no Applebee's. They did the vote. They voted off. Camila was voted off. She was blindsided. We come in. Jonathan and Dee are yelling at each other in camp, and Coach is just sitting in this little hammock chilling. So that was incredible, incredible. And then we go to the challenge. It was an amazing challenge. It was two teams facing off, and then one loses, the other one wins a reward, but then they have to go do a singular challenge, which was fun. Ozzy won that. Ozzy's like old. I think that's his 8th challenge win, they said. He's won, if he wins one more, he ties Boston Rob, so that's interesting to watch. But we go to tribal. D had that big blow up against Jonathan, and we're like, oh, I'm thinking D's done. D's got to be done. But Coach is just being Coach. He's being too loud. He's talking too much. Just chill out, Coach. And then Rizzo comes up and he tells Coach, "We slay dragons at tribal, not at camp," which is incredible. I've said Rizzo's my pick to win it all. That's my dog. I love Rizzo. He's incredible. Um, so this was pretty awesome. They ended up getting D out. She used her shot in the dark, which is like a 1 in 6 chance that you're safe. She used it, so she didn't have a vote. So D was out. She was out. She had 7 votes. Tiffany had 4. Coach got 1 stray vote from Tiffany. So that's tough. I like D, but that's a tough loss for her. Survivor 50's on a roll. Perfect episode. The best one so far. Let's keep it going. Euphoria's back, which I used to love Euphoria, like when I was like 4 years ago, whenever it came out. I'm like, this now the actors are like the same age as me. We're both just old and they're trying to still play like high school characters. So I don't know how it's gonna work. I'm gonna watch. I need to go back and rewatch the first 2 seasons because it's been that long since it came out. But I'm excited. What can I say? It was a great show. I'm sorry. I'm sad that Fez died. One of the characters passed away. That's tough, but we'll see what they have in store for us. It should be interesting. Jordan Love, the NFL draft is next week. I think Jordan Love is going to be a top 5 pick, or Jeremiah Love. Sorry, Jordan Love. Jeremiah Love, Notre Dame running back, one of my favorite Notre Dame players of all time. It's looking very likely that he's a top 5 pick. He had a great pro day. He's looked really solid. He had an amazing season. If he didn't deal with a couple injuries and we made the playoff, I think he could show off even more. He's incredible. He was incredible all year. So I really think it's looking like the Titans at 4 are going to take him. The Raiders at 1 are obviously grabbing Mendoza. So that's interesting as well. So it's going to be exciting. I'll probably talk about the draft next week. We'll talk Raiders. We'll talk any Notre Dame players, where they're projected to go. We'll talk the safety from Toledo as well. I love him. Emmanuel Warren. And yeah, Gable Stevenson. Oh, no, no, no. We're going to talk. Rory just won the Masters. Golf clap. Literally golf clap because it's golf. Congrats, Rory. I don't really watch golf like that. The thing with golf and tennis is I love them when it's the big stuff, the Masters or any of the big tournaments in tennis. I love watching those. But outside of that, I can't like bring myself to fully be in day-to-day basis. Congrats to Rory, back-to-back Masters champ. He came out of the gutter with that one. So yeah, Masters is cool. Gable Stevenson is in the UFC. Gable Stevenson, multiple time NCAA champion heavyweight wrestler. He's finally signing with the UFC. He's fighting on UFC 329 International Fight Week. And that's going to be awesome, man. That fight's sick. I'm excited to see him. I think he's going to come in and have a Brock Lesnar type effect. Just a big mother trucker who can wrestle, who's a heavyweight, who's just a dog. I love Gable Stevenson. I'll be interested to see how his striking is. I don't think he has the striking prowess yet. So if he can get a guy down and beat his ass, that's what he needs to do. But they probably need to give him a low-level heavyweight to just kind of smash on, get his confidence up, and build him up the right way. But heavyweight is very much open. Cash, we got the clock on the dot. That's Drake's take, man. We did it. We're here every Sunday. I'm gonna be here every single Sunday. I don't know why I was trying to do Tuesday when I have a full work week, Why not Sundays? Why not us? Why not Sundays? We're coming right off the UFC. Sundays, we can talk about every single thing. We can talk about Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, everything that happens throughout the week. We get to Sunday. You watch it Sunday or you watch it Monday. I'm excited. We're feeling good. This was a great Drake's Takes. Tell a friend, tell an uncle, tell an aunt, tell a mom, tell a dad, tell a kid, tell an adult, tell a grandpa, tell a grandma. I'm excited about this. I love sports. Life is good. Doing comedy, doing this. We're feeling good, man. Drake's Takes out. Peace.